Right, well, hello. My name's Harry. I'm the current president, and I'm joined by Alex, who's my predecessor, 2-year president, and Ed, who was in the team with us as the pre-welfare campaigns of welfare last year.
Yep.
So we've got all three of us, plus the old Avery Hill part-time officer, Catherine, who's fantastically decided to join us at the last minute. Superb. So I think we're going to spend the next few minutes just rambling pointlessly about weird nomination stories we have over the last couple of years of campaigning, because we've all been involved for. You've done 2 years, Ed.
Yeah, 2, 3. Does the last 2 kind of count?
Yeah, of course it does.
3 years.
Best campaign ever. Alex, you're just.
I think I achieved 4 years in the end. 4 or 5 years? 4 years.
5.
5 years. Okay, fine.
No,
4.
4.
4. Right. 2 we best not speak about, so just forget about 2 of those. Because I don't really remember what happened there. Yeah, best not spoken about, I think.
You were at the top of the ballot. That's
top of the ballot. That's always a winner. Yeah. There's your tip. Change your name. Yeah. So nominations. What? 2 years ago? 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all started. Well,
yeah.
The 3 of us.
It was a cold night in Avery Hill, if I remember it right.
Sounds like the beginning of some fable.
Was it in Avery Hill? Oh well, the process of getting everyone together. Yeah, of encouraging people to run and stuff like that.
Back then, a bit different, I think, with groups of people kind of supporting each other. Now it's a bit of a individual endeavour.
It is indeed. I remember the motivation of the first reason that I got involved was because you cornered me in the dome somewhere and went, look, this will be a really good idea, why don't you do it? And I was just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, mate. It's Equality, Diversity and Disability Officer. What?
Yeah. Not as catchy as I thought.
Yeah, I think the Ed officer. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's important, like you just said, like Alex cornered you to run. It's important to identify people who you think might want to run, even if they don't really know what's going on. Like me and Harry didn't a few years ago. It's like people encouraged us and then we got involved. And
yeah, I think what, thinking about it in a less silly way would be that, I spotted someone who I thought had some potential, and had a conversation, and I know that Tony had the same conversation with Ed back in the day, and obviously because variously involved in the SU, student council and part-time officer and things, it was about developing that and seeing who could follow in those footsteps. Also your name was like Harry, not too bad on the ballot.
It's all about this alphabet. So it's interesting, especially with last year we implemented the nominate a friend thing, where you can both do it anonymously and open about it. I found that really, really intriguing because it's like a direct manner in which you could do all of that cultivation and that motivation with somebody, and then sort of give them the additional little push. It was a really good opportunity to sort of identify people just the same, but they didn't have to be necessarily somebody you're friends with or somebody you could have that conversation with if you weren't that close with them.
I think it was really important. I thought it was a good idea at the time. I mean, I ran because there was a group of people around me that kept saying, you've got ideas, you want to make a difference, we'll be here to support you, and they were kind of like pushing me and urging me. But in a way, some people don't have that. But there's no doubt that people can see them. They might be involved in various ways. They might be, with a sustainability hub, or they might be with a certain student group. And actually, you can spot them. You might not be close enough to them to suggest that this is something they might want to do. So actually, this more anonymous, more kind of light touch way of kind of encouraging them might put the idea in their head, actually.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you were talking about sort of the involvement in our groups or involved in something already. I definitely seen in the last couple of years that's just diversified massively. If you take sort of the standardised history that people generally get involved through sports or something like that, we've seen that change so much over the last couple of years. People are getting involved from loads of different directions, and like all you need. I was trying to say it in the last promo thing we did. All you need is that one key bit of passion. something that you just want to change, and that can often be like the offshoot of your entire campaign.
Hmm.
All that you need to do to demonstrate to other students that you're like the best person to represent them.
Yeah. I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day about the various roles, and we were talking about whether there'd be lots of competition for the roles. Obviously, I know I'm quite far from the process these days, so, you know, we were saying like, oh, maybe this person will run, or maybe this person will run, and in my years, and I guess the same for you, Harry, people who were running for president was actually always a bit lower than all the other positions. You might get, what, you were up again? 5,
In
6
my
people?
first year, 7. Yeah,
7 people.
was-
I mean, that's a lot of people,
That's quite a
because
lot.
people see welfare, they see student activities, they see education, and there's a picture in their mind about what that is.
Yeah,
Whereas they
it's
see
clear cut what you do, and yeah.
president, and they go, oh, well, you know, I don't know what that
What do
is.
they do? Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, there might be this classy bit of wording on a leaflet, and you think, well, that still doesn't tell me, but you know, it's important that people understand the role, understand its leadership qualities, understand how it can influence really higher levels of the university and the local community, as I know Harry's been doing recently. So, you know, for me picking the role wasn't difficult, but that was because I was quite close to the whole process. I think for other people, you know, really...
Yeah, if you're
really,
not... Yeah, if you're not kind of involved,
yeah.
it's quite a... You know,
Dig down and understand
yeah.
what it is. I believe, you know, hashtag Ask Harry is a good way of understanding what the president role is all about.
This was not my idea. Can we just validate that? But it's interesting what you're saying about like knowing the position and digging down, or knowing the union and digging down, because I don't necessarily. I think the union's got a responsibility to increase and open the transparency of it, so more people who aren't necessarily directly involved have that access. Because it's not necessarily a fundamental understanding that would make you good at being president. It's more of a view that you want to make change at a sort of a union level, like an institutional level, the manner in which we go about our work, the manner in which we apply ourselves as students. I think anybody can have that, no matter like, whether they've been involved in it before or not. I think we've just got a responsibility to communicate that more effectively than we are currently.
I think no matter what your experience is beforehand, they're all roles that you learn as you go along. Like when we all started, we were all kind of, you know...
Fresh.
Yeah, that's a good question. Ed, did you have a clue what you were doing for the first 2 weeks of your job?
No. I don't think anyone would. And I think that's part of the process, is that, you know, is learning on the job for, you know, the first couple of months at least.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
You get, like, you just kind of do, don't you? And then it will come to maybe January, and you've just been doing for the last 6 months, and it's at January, you kind of like, something clicks, and you suddenly go, yeah. It's just really important to just have filler, in a sense, like, that's how you make all of that, the impact.
Yeah.
But you don't get to January and think, oh wow, I didn't do anything.
No.
It's just it's a bit abstract to you, I guess. It's a bit vague.
Yeah, you just sort of like, you're just doing the work, and then it gets to January, and then you see kind of some of your results come in, and you see actually what impact you've had. And I think that's kind of where the light bulb kind of goes.
Yes. So I think I vaguely remember my first email. You know, kind of sat at a computer going, yeah, the other president's still down the corridor, because, you know, there's kind of this weird handover-y thing, and you think, oh, what do I do now? Oh, there's an email! I'll answer the email.
I remember my first email, it was dealing with your, like, additional spam.
Okay.
You've got us in Glastonbury for like 10 days at the end of your tenure. So it's just a matter of, hello, this isn't Alex anymore. No, I'm not currently the president, but I will be very soon. Thanks for your email, I'll probably reply in 9 days.
I mean, you're still doing that, right? Yeah.
But yeah,
Anything...
I don't know what we should really wrap up on. Nominate yourself, I guess.
Yeah, and nominate other people as well.
True. Yeah, just, if you've got any bit of interest or passion, this has been a very roundabout route of getting there, but any bit of interest or passion, I definitely say do it. Don't hold back because you don't feel like you've got the experience or anything like that. The training is there for a particular reason, and all it takes is somebody who cares and who's been a student to be good at this job. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool.